illegible entry. This company, this aggregate of companies, does anything but instill confidence in me regarding your reliability. Yet you are proceeding to negotiate a lease with Twisted Oak when due diligence requires a serious, unbiased investigation of Twisted Oak. You have been given information, offered more information concerning Twisted Oak's proposal, its adverse effects on the community, and the non-viability of its economic plan. You've had time to research that information and more, yet city agents refer the public to Twisted Oak's website for information. The city should have its own information. To rely upon Twisted Oak, which has a vested venal interest, is to be less than diligent, yet Jasper does. Jasper does not even have a spokesman authorized to speak on behalf of the city in answering the public's questions about the power plant proposal. Your USB allows some of its agents to answer power plant proposal questions, but without authority to speak for the board, and with no guarantee of the accuracy of the answers. These agents have disseminated false information. You've been made aware of this. City agents upon whom Jasper still relies have demonstrated their level of competency by classifying a published magazine article as confidential material. A published magazine article. Yet you continue to rely on such people. By disregarding the Black and Veatch study's recommendation, you call into question the validity of spending $130,000 taxpayer dollars. Now your USB is reported to have hired a consultant, Dr. Christopher R. Shattuck. While the doctor is associated with Sandia National Lab at Livermore, California, and possesses a degree from Princeton, his published works seem irrelevant to burning miscanthus and natural gas on an industrial scale to produce electricity. The papers that come up under his name are Flame Height Measurement of Laminar Inverse Diffusion Flames, 2006. Soot, giver and taker of light. The complex structure of soot greatly influences the optical effects seen in fires, 2007. Laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy of alkali metals in high-temperature gas. Laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy at high temperature in industrial boilers and furnaces. Time-resolved laser-induced incandescence and laser-elastic mixed scattering measurement in a propane diffusion plant. Effect of furnace operating conditions on alkali vaporization, patch carryover, and the formation of SO2 and NO in an oxy-fueled fire container for glass furnace. None of these papers treat industrial scale biomass combustion. None treat the pollution from this proposed project. None the viability of growing miscanthus as a fuel crop. None with contract or real estate law. Yet Jasper is proceeding to expend taxpayer dollars to have this individual review your negotiated lease with Twisted Oak. I have to, and you should ask, how the man's name came to be known to Jasper government and how he is qualified to review the lease. This hire has the appearance of having been done only because the doctor has some credentials that the USB could think would overawe opposition to the lease. Disabuse yourself of that concept. Where and when, if necessary, was this service contract properly advertised by the city so that other individuals were made aware and had an opportunity to apply for the position? The hiring of Dr. Shattuck causes only doubt in my mind as to his professional integrity. The hiring does nothing good for the city's reputation. Where is the proof that miscanthus can fuel a 32 megawatt steam generator? Where is the proof that your power plant boiler, which is sized to produce 14.5 megawatts with coal, will be able to power 32 megawatts with miscanthus? Where is the proof of a single industrial-sized, on-grid, 100% miscanthus burning power plant operating long-term? I could find none. Jasper government has supplied none. The conclusion is there is none. The scheme does not work, and everyone involved in it should be held to account. You as officials are sworn to support the Indiana State Constitution, which states in Article 1 that all free governments are instituted for the peace, safety, and well-being of the people. That same article states that all people have an inalienable right to life. Your own cited experts state that the power plant's operation will endanger life. deprive people of safety and well-being. Yet you proceed.
Alex, who is that expert you're referring to?
You recall last meeting, Dr. Sammons was cited, and the Massachusetts Medical Society.
But he's not, you're saying he's our expert. We didn't bring him in.
Your negotiating agent did, in fact, cite those two as your medical information. Mr. Howersberger has in the past, when asked who the city had for information about health effects, cite Dr. Sammons. You've been asked in the past, the city's been asked for other medical information, health experts. You declined to give any. Do you have any?
We did not bring Dr. Sammons in.
I didn't say you did. I said you cited him
as our expert.
I said you cited him as your expert.
I don't want to argue with you, Alex.
Pull the record for the last meeting where I asked your negotiating agent with Twisted Oaks who he had for medical information. I'm certain of what I said, sir. I'm going back to my paragraphs. You as officials are sworn to support the Indiana State Constitution, which states in Article 1 that all free governments are instituted for the peace, safety, and well-being of people. That same article states that all people have an inalienable right to life. Your own cited experts state that the power plant's operation will endanger life, destroy lives, deprive people of safety and well-being, yet you proceed. This is not due diligence on your part. You are not obligated to make money. You are obligated to govern for the peace, safety, and well-being of the people. With you unable to refute the health dangers in operating the power plant, having had ample time to do so, an uncomfortable question needs to be asked again. Who are the families, the children, whose lives you are willing to see ruined and even ended in exchange for a few pieces of silver? Give us their names. You might like to hide behind euphemisms and account ledgers, but that is the trade that you are negotiating. Lives for money. Remember that for the rest of eternity. Lives for money, needlessly. Give us the names or let it sit. Please. Thank you.
Alec, can I ask you one question? Since you must be the expert, where do you get your credentials from?
On what subject?
On all the things you've been talking about this evening.
Several
years. Obviously, we did not.
Will you let me answer?
Okay.
Thank you.
You asked me a question back, and I was going to answer it for you. So go ahead.
I have done considerable research in the last few years on the subject of biomass. I have done extensive research into emissions. One of your agents has had the opportunity to skim one of my papers. He has not taken the opportunity which was made to him to read it at length. And my expertise will stand up, sir.
Then I'm going to follow up with a question. If you wrote a paper on it, where did you get your credentials from to do that? Just from your research? Personal research?
What sort of credentials are you looking for, sir?
I don't.
Would you like me to give you some papers that have nothing to do with the subject? Would you like me to give you work experience that has nothing to do with the subject? Would you like me to...
Where do you get your training at?
I have some university training,
okay,
and I have enough intelligence to do research work on my own.
Thank you.
And that's what I did, is I did independent research.
And it's your interpretation.
Thank you.
Now I can verify what I said, sir. Would you like to see the proof?
Thank you, Alex.
So you aren't going to answer the question. I consider that route, sir.
We have one more speaker for tonight, Kara Jones.
I'm Kara Beth Jones. I'm co-chair